everyone. In today's video, I will be showing you how to make soya beans protein powder. I am Rosie and you are welcome to my kitchen. Soya beans are high in proteins. They are a rich source of vitamins. Soya beans are very healthy. And this is the soya beans I will be using today. Let's get started. Transfer the soya beans inside boiling water. Stir. Cover and leave it to cook for about 30 to 40 minutes. And this is 40 minutes later. The soya beans is be cooking. And I'm going to check at this point the skin can easily goes off. Cooking the soya beans is very important. If you don't want to cook the soya beans, you have to soak it for about 8 hours. Transfer the soya beans inside a strainer. Run the tap on it to cool it down. You can also leave it to cool down on its own. And once that is done, transfer it inside a large bowl and rub it in between your palm to take out the skin. Wash it just the way you wash beans for moi moi or akara. You can also make your soya beans powder without taking out the skin, but I like to take out the skin before using it. Once that is done, strain it out to separate the skin. And I'm going to be repeating this process until all the skins are off. If you don't want to cook your soya beans, you can also soak it for about 8 hours. Cooking the soya beans before using it or soaking it before using it are very important step in making soya beans powder. So you need to do either of that. So here is the soya beans. I've been washing it now and I'm almost done. So I will rinse it one more time. Washing soya beans to take out the skin is very easy. It's much easier than washing other beans. And you can see all the skin we got out of the soya beans. Transfer the soya beans inside the strainer to take out excess water. Next, you will need a large tray. Transfer the washed soya beans inside the tray once it's drained out completely and spread it out. I'm going to be drying these soya beans under the sun because where I live is very hot. If you don't have enough sun where you live, you can put it in the oven and dry it on a low heat, or you can use a dehydrator to dry the soya beans as well. And this is outside. Place the tray down and leave it to dry. Cover it with a net. You can use a chiffon cloth as well to prevent dust or insect from touching the beans. And this is 10 hours later. The beans is completely dried now. You can see this beans is very dry. So if you make a lot, you need to use more than one tray to dry your beans. Transfer the beans inside an oven tray and spread out. And I'm going to be toasting the beans for about 10 to 15 minutes in the oven. And this step is not important. I just like the toasted flavor in my soya beans powder. You can skip this step. So this is 10 minutes later. I brought it out of the oven and I allow it to cool down completely before working with it. And once the beans is well cooled, transfer it inside the blender. You can use a dry blender. Any blender can do this. You can also take it to a commercial blender as well. And blend the soya beans into a smooth powder. And that is done. Transfer the soya beans powder inside a large bowl. Spread it out. It's very hot now. You cannot pack it. If you pack it, it's going to spoil. It's hot because we just blended it. Allow it to cool down completely, then we proceed. So once the beans is cold, sift the soya beans powder. Sift and use a spoon to break the lumps. If you have a lot that is not well smooth, you can reblend those ones again, but my blender did a great job. I don't have any to blend again. I'm just going to throw those away and I'll be repeating this process until I am done. Soya beans powder is very healthy for kids and adults. It is protein powder. You can give soya beans powder to your children from 6 months. You start to give it to your babies, add it to their cereal, and it's very, very healthy. And that is done. This is how the soya beans powder looks like, and it smells amazing because I toasted it. And this soya beans powder can last for a long time. It can last up to a year. You can put it in the freezer. You can store it in an airtight container like so. And you just put it in the pantry. And soya beans powder can be used to make many things. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be sharing some recipe on what you can make with your soya beans powder with you. Once that is done, cover and store it in a cool place. I'll be keeping this in the pantry and it doesn't last long in my house. Thank you all so much for watching. Remain blessed. I will see you in my next video. Bye.